December. How you been? Where you been? What have you been up to? The holidays get hectic, don't they? Everything gets all changed up. Schedules get switched around. I've been working quite a few overnights. But what have I been doing with my time, right? Okay. How am I going to make this structured? I realized that if I don't have a loose structure, a basic calendar of anticipation, I tend to sit stagnant. For example, I have been crocheting a lot, many endless hours of crocheting lately. But yet, I haven't checked in with you. I haven't spent time visiting with you and showing you the patterns that I've been running across and the things that I've been making. I've been making things. I really have. I internalize it. I just sit in my own mind, crochet and work and chatter along, but that's not what it's about. I need to outwardly share this process and this fun with like-minded crafters, right? So I was thinking it would help if I had some loose structure. So for the month of December, let's visit on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then if something cool happens between there and we need to get together and chat about it, we can do that too. But I need to have some sort of check-in with you. I miss you when it goes too many days and then I feel like I have all these projects piled up, and do you want to see them? They're not like hot off the hook or anything. They're kind of like chilled in the corner. Let's see. So I don't know in what order I've made these things. I don't know which overnight shift, because I'll work an overnight shift. I'll come home and I'll sleep for a little while and then I'll crochet until it's time to go back to work. I know it sounds like a toxic relationship, but I love it. So what have I been working on? Well, one of the things that I was working on was I've recently discovered that I know someone who has someone in their life that is cute toddler size. I know, right? That's always fun. And Christmas is upon us. So I felt the urge to make a beautiful little Christmas dress. This is a Bag O' Day crochet Christmas or dress pattern. I believe it was made for Rose. I think that's Rose in the picture. And there's the little dress. I had some deep, rich red. This is showing up a little brighter than what it is. It's more of a burgundy hue. And I no clue what type it is. It's not sheen like a Caron. It is not bulky like a Workhorse Red Heart Super Saver. It's more of a DK weight acrylic, definitely acrylic. I originally had a whole bunch of this. It came in a really big ball, and I had this deep, rich burgundy red, which is like an old-fashioned United States flag red, like that deep red, a white, and in the same I had I don't want to even say marled because it was a twisted white and a blue, and it was a crisp sky blue. And I used those three colors together. I made a red, white, and blue Bavarian style blanket that came up to lapgan size, and entered that into the fair the year before last, and won a ribbon Not sure what ribbon, but it was spectacular. It was a stunning, stunning blanket. Well, I used up all the white and the blue in the blanket, and I just had a bit of red left. And I kept thinking, you know, I know that I used it in a red, white, and blue blanket, but it really screamed Christmas, like old-fashioned, it's snowing in town Christmas. So yeah, I think they look like the pattern on this pattern of Bag O' Day tutorial. I thought it looked like angels. I thought that was pretty. And then I needed to make it for a long-legged little girl, so I added this nice white border. I did Crystal's suggestion of the white all the way around. The white is the Caron Simply Soft Party. You see the party in that? It's perfect. It's fun. It's lighthearted. It adds just a little bit of sparkling glamour. The baby is right around 2 years old. So are we still a baby, or are we looking for a little party shimmer shine? Right at that fun age, right? Where color is exciting. Little details are beautiful. So I found this ribbon. It's got like a little holly on it, and tied the nice little bow like Crystal suggested. And this is ready to gift. I was thinking how cute it would be with one of those. They're going around, and I don't know if they were originally dishcloths or just motifs to use for anything, but they're the peppermint spiral with the white and the red. I thought that would be so cute to make two of them and make them a little purse. But I don't have any more of the red. And reds will clash. Yeah, it's got to be the same or not going to work, Amy. And then I thought, well, my favorite little restaurant, sometimes they give us green and white. The peppermints, not peppermint, I guess it'd be spearmint, right? I was like, it's not very Christmassy. Skip. So I made that little dress. I ordered a book from Amazon. I know, I did the AI gamble. All the reviews said it was a good one. Thank you to everyone who spends a few minutes to enter a review on Amazon or like Etsy or any of those. I appreciate it because I read them, and definitely let me know if it's not workable patterns. This one was a hit. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely adorable. Reversible amigurumi. If you remember a while ago, I was participating in a collaboration for a book club. And one of the books had a little girl in it. I think it was 2 sisters, and one of the sisters' name was Marigold. And so I discovered a pattern somewhere on YouTube. I think she's, hold on. Okay, I found her. She was on my thread display. Marigold, she's a little girl, and she has a beautiful dress and a flower on her head. She's made out of embroidery thread. That rhymed. She's got a little flower, and she pops back up into a complete flower. Just a delicate little pattern. Fun make. Well, Amazon suggested this book to me when I was looking, I don't know, I think I looked up crochet crap or something. I don't know. Tons of cute little patterns in here, and they're all reversible. Maybe I should insert a picture at the end. We have a princess and a frog. We have a flower fairy, a witch, and she flips into a cauldron, a little dragon into an egg, a sunflower, a Cinderella situation, and he doesn't flip into anything, but he is definitely an interesting male amigurumi. It's not very often you see the guys. He's a basic pattern with a bended knee. So unique. A rose. We have Goldilocks. She flips upside down. Her skirt flips over her and she turns into a bear. We have a tropical flower. Little Mermaid. And this one, Little Red Riding Hood, her skirt flips over and she's the wolf, and another flower. So there's 3 flowers. I wanted to make them all. I wanted to make them all at one time. I did not want to be patient. The first one that called to me was, of course, Little Witchy Poo. She's so cute. I worked her up on an overnight shift. I grabbed scrap yarn. So the yarn that they suggest, the materials they suggest, is a DK weight yarn. I think they even went as far as to say cotton. They didn't give brand recommendations, but she's cute and she's dainty. And then they did give hook sizes. So I put a gallon size sandwich baggie of yarn together. I just pulled all kinds of scraps. I found a shiny black, which was way less than a DK weight. This is like thread weight. I found this pink. It was shimmery. It just looked good. Her skin was green. We know we don't have to follow the color suggestions. I found this tiny bit of pale blue cottony stuff. I started working. Right away I started working. What did I get to? I got her head done, her body. I did her eyes. I tried to embroider the little mouth and the smile. This black was way too, I think it's got some nylon in it, way too flimsy. I spent so much time on the skirt part and got discouraged because I don't think that it's going to have that proper stand up on it. She's standing on this. This is her hair, so there's not anything on the inside of that skirt to help hold it. So my stitches would have to be pretty tight. I bogged myself down in too many textures and too many thicknesses of yarn. So I put that away that night. It was a long night. And then I started working on my filet crochet curtain that I'm forever working on, the bathroom curtain. I'll show you that another time. I spent the rest of the evening working up rows on that. The next night I came prepared. I stopped at Hobby Lobby on my way to work and I picked up a variety of threads. I picked up the perfect cauldron color. See, I love being able to do this because I could get a variety of shades and color. They're like 60 cents a piece, 65 cents a piece for the DMC embroidery threads. I picked up, oh my gosh, where's my bundle? Standing there, tick tock, I gotta get to work. I picked up a light purple, a dark purple, and then I don't exactly remember the color. It's like a green, like a hued green, brown embroidery thread. I've got scraps left over. I won't bore you with my little scraps. And then at one of the trips down to LA to visit Sarah Nickel, I picked up a couple of these beautiful balls. Oh no. These came from the Stockton flea market. My husband and I saw a post on Facebook Marketplace that there was yarn for sale at the flea market. And so we traveled, took a little drive to a place unknown. It's very shimmery. Very shimmery. It's variegated. It's a teal, a turquoise, a purple, and a deep, rich purple. And then it's got this shimmer going through it. That and the embroidery thread. Hold on, it needs some adjusting. Okay, ta-da! I made a cauldron. It kind of got smashed down in the bag. Dang it. Okay, there we go. See, it's like bubbling and frothing. Okay, and then you grab the little handles. Ow! I didn't put the things on the bottom of the cauldron. The feet. Okay, well, I'm not done yet. The feet on the cauldron, and then you flip the cauldron over. I didn't attach her hair yet. I guess she's not done. There you go. I made a little witch. So I did use that pink to embroider some lips, some little cheekies on there. I used a little bit of that black to make her little bodice wrap. There she is. Cute little witchy cauldron girl. And in the picture, she has a little skull on the top of her head that floats in the cauldron bubbles. And I did my best. I need to work. Oh, actually, that doesn't look so bad. When I was working on it all night on an overnight shift around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I decided that it looked absolutely hideous and I didn't like it at all. But now that I've had some sleep, it's really cute. I think when I attach her hair, I'm just going to go ahead and attach it. Her little curls are cute. It's a chain 10 and then you work single crochets back down, slip stitch 2 over onto the hair wig that they have you create. She's cute. I'm going to attach it. It's not as bad as I thought. I'm going to stick it inside the cauldron for now so I don't lose it. Very, very easy to follow. Fun little pattern. There's some sewing. I can see the sewing part being the discouraging part of the pattern. I know a lot of people don't like to sew. All these little petals on her dress were sewn on. I didn't make the hat. The hat just sits off to the side, and so she wouldn't put it on. I didn't want to make the hat. But the hat is an awesome little pattern to keep on hand in case I need to make. Halloween's coming back around again, right? It is. And so the next one that I want to make is Little Red Riding Hood. I don't want to have to buy a whole bunch of embroidery floss because it's going to be, let's see, that little cauldron was 3 skeins, which isn't a lot of money. It's just the knots. When I get to the knots, I don't like reattaching. So I'm going to look for some DK weight, maybe Hobby Lobby in their sports yarn section, see what kind of variety and color they have. I need the gray, and then her dress, Little Red Riding Hood. Her dress is pink, but I think it should just be all layers of red, right? This is the next one I want to work on. Cauldron was fun. What else? So that was my sidekick for a while. I'm not going to finish this one. I am going to frog it, reclaim my pretty blue eyes off of it. Put all this is going back into the scrap bin. And then I'll save the sandwich baggie, the gallon size baggie. I'll put that for the book and get that ready to go to pull the next colors. That was an amazing book. There's so much in it that I want to make, right? Usually I get a pattern book and there's, I don't know, 1 or 2 patterns that I want to make, but it's worth it because you're supporting the pattern designer. Who's the designer? Who am I supporting? I am supporting Febby Pranajaya. I'm sorry, Febby. There you are, working hard at your desk, and I'm supporting you because you wrote an incredible book. Good job. So what else am I working on? Well, with the holiday season, we went over to Costco to grab our festive pumpkin pies. We were trying to grab an apple pie, family favorite. They were all out of apple pies. We always grab a pumpkin pie. So then the other pie we grabbed was pecan. You know what, Costco? I know you're trying and you labeled it pecan pie, but that's not how my grandma makes it. It had like the pecan filling, but you just put the pecans on top. You didn't chop them and mix them in with the filling. It wasn't nutty all the way through. And I'm not looking for mincemeat pie. It's definitely a pecan pie, but that wasn't, Come on. I know you're pumping out hundreds and hundreds of these. Everybody's in there shopping. Everyone's getting grumpy. We're getting run over by shopping carts and somebody wants a sample. Costco, you're crazy. I found myself in the book department. And they have the crochet kits. They have Elf, the movie Elf. They had Star Wars. They had a couple of other ones. But I got the Beetlejuice one. So originally they're $24.99. They were $13.99. I don't know if you could find them cheaper somewhere else. There's a lot of those second retail shops that buy in bulk, big box, and then they sell them for cheaper. I don't know, but I came across this one for Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, for a very long time, because I am kitted up. I have so many crochet kits. Wednesdays are Wooblin' Wednesdays, Crochet Kit Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, I will show an amigurumi kit that I have made, and I will pick an amigurumi kit to make for the next Wednesday. Doing a review. Are these patterns workable? How's the yarn that they give you? What's the crochet hook like? Yeah. So there are 12 patterns in here, and they give you enough to make the 2. Those 2 are very cute. They're absolutely adorable. I love them. Those aren't the ones I want to make. I want to make Barbara first. Isn't that an awesome pattern? Okay, $13.99, and I get, what, 12 patterns. And they're not just simple make a ball and add some characteristics on it. Like, these are actually some pretty intense patterns. I see some increasing and decreasing going on here. Some decreasing going on with this guy. I forget his name. Waiting room guy. And there's Lydia in her bridal dress. The magician's assistant. So yeah, this kit's going to be fun. I'm going to put this in the hat to randomly pull, and we'll make those. Beetlejuice is all year round, right? It's a classic good movie. It's got a cult following. So I was working on that. And then I started noticing that I didn't have any big long-term projects. I like to have, when I crochet, I like to have a big project going on, something that takes a lot of time, something that I can work on, a larger hook, not the thread, but like a 4-weight and more. Don't like going too far above a 4-weight, but you know, a big project that I'm steadily working on. And then I like to have little projects to break it up. I've been working on little projects quite a bit lately. The dress, the cauldron, my crochet bathroom curtain is an active whip, but I still consider it a small project because I'm working with 10-weight crochet thread. And I wanted something slightly larger. Actually, that comes around full circle. That hair yarn that I used for my witchy poo, that yarn came from the Stockton flea market, I want to say summertime, 6 months ago. While I was there, there was a booth, and she had lots of random yarn. And I found this Ella Rae Classic. This is a deep, rich, heathered purple. It's deeper, richer than what's showing up. These lights are making it a little bright. Ella Rae. Ella Rae, 100% wool. The color name on this, get a load of this, 128. Okay, this is Stockton Flea Market Aubergine. Okay. That's terrible. I should write them a letter. Come on, that is beautiful. The lady had a whole bunch of them. She's selling them for $1 a piece. I bought them all. I have, how much do I have? I wrote down the yardage at one time, and I put it on a Post-it note, and I put it on a pattern that I liked, a very captivating cardigan pattern. I have 2,784 yards, which is exactly what I need. The pattern that I found actually is in Lion Brand Kobu, is the original. I know that that is a cotton bamboo, but it's 100% wool, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's technically, when I look up the Ella Rae Classic on Ravelry, it says it's a 4-weight. It is a very light 4-weight. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's going to work just fine. So when I find a pattern that's cotton and bamboo, I know that it's like very drapey, slightly heavier than the wool would be. I want it lighter. I thought this would be a great alternative for the pattern I found, but I needed more. I needed a contrasting color. Thank you, eBay. So on eBay, I found Ella Rae Classic. Same. This is showing up a blue. This is a periwinkle. Can I say a pastel-y blue-purple? So when I hold them together, it kind of looks like a navy or a dark blue or deep, rich midnight blue and a light blue. It's a dark, dark purple and a periwinkle. Either way, they're absolutely beautiful together. And the color on this one is 10. Just by coincidence, all the dye lots for each color that I picked are the same. Not that that's going to matter much with the pattern that I'm working. There we go. That's my color palette. What did I find? After I got home with my beautiful new yarns and eBay delivered my beautiful new yarns, I was on Facebook and Annie's Crochet was advertising a bunch of patterns, total clickbait. I did not use that ad after I saw this. I did not use that ad. I went to their website. I looked it up. This is called Patchwork Crochet. It's where you make some motifs and then join as you go. You create the fill-in motifs as you're working it. I've never done that before. Never, ever, ever, never. It's a brand new technique to me. I want to build my skills. I want to have a long-term, larger project to work on. I don't want to rush through this. I want to build some skills with this. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So where it's dark, I'm using the dark. Where it's light, I'm using the periwinkle. There's even some pretty little window pane looking filler pieces. The top of the cardigan is, that's a terrible picture of the whole thing. The top of the cardigan is just very simple. I'm wondering if I want the full sleeves or my famous 3/4. I am noticing now that it's gotten a little chilly. I don't have very many garments with long sleeves because it doesn't get chilly here for very long. So I don't know. We'll see when I get there. So right now I've worked these bottom scallops, my size. So it's saying with the Kobu to use an H size hook. I did a gauge swatch. I did a gauge swatch. So you make the first shell and then it's supposed to be, what was the gauge? It was supposed to be 6.5 inches wide from peak to peak. You make 7 of them, 6.5 inches wide from peak to peak with an H hook. I worked it up. Technically, this is a 4-weight. Kobu is a 3-weight. My tension has a lot to play with that too. So H hook is a 5mm. I went to a 4.5, which is a G. And I got 6.5 inches from peak to peak. I hit gauge. I measured my body. Look at me. I'm doing this right. This is gonna fit. Measurements put me at, because I don't want to choke down this wool. I need to let it be lofty and airy and do what it needs to do. A lot of times, we'll try to meet gauge, but we're choking down on our yarn. So then maybe just adjusting, making it in the hook size and letting the fiber do what it's supposed to do. Then where does it fall in your measurements with the gauge? I'm making a large. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous. You have to trust the pattern designer a bit and try on as you go. But my measurements with hitting this gauge with a 4.5, which is a smaller hook, thicker yarn, is falling in the large category. This is made to fit with a bit of positive ease, which means that it's loose fitting, it's comfortable fitting, it's very drapey. Keeping in mind that Kobu is cotton and bamboo, it will not stretch or move or adapt to your body very much. It's just meant to be drapey. Wool will stretch and ease and change and shape to your body. It's not the same. It doesn't play the same. So making a large, I started with my 7 motifs, following the pattern, working myself around. There were a couple points where I just had to take a deep breath and say, follow the instructions. It's really very simple. Follow the instructions. So following the written instructions and the chart diagram, look at that, following my charts. My measurements are hitting exactly where they should be hitting. The first one's 31 stitches across the bottom. So you make all your bottom scallops, 7 for a large. Then taking your bottom scallop, which is just this piece, you're working up the sides, and every color change is 2 rows, which is amazing because you're not carrying the yarn with you, you're carrying the color switch up the side. So I got my bottom scallop, and then I follow along, and it tells me my first half scallop would be the edge going up the front panel of the cardigan. And then the next one, you're working all the way down the side, and then you're creating this half scallop, which then connects to the next bottom scallop, which I started getting excited. Look, it actually is playing, the colors are playing very well together. It's looking great. This is definitely going to need to be shaped, blocked. So there's the front edge, first bottom scallop, second bottom scallop. I worked the instructions for the fill-in, which this panel was created working this way. It wasn't worked as this individual scallop. And then the next instruction said to follow it down, and then you're using the side stitches from this scallop to this scallop. Wrong. Wrong, Amy. Nope. It's going the wrong way. It shouldn't be like, It needs to be like this. I should have connected when I worked down. I should have connected here for the next scallop and then worked another one of these center ones going up this way, because it's technically working row 1, row 2 at the same time. This one is doing I don't know what or I don't know where. So I gotta frog this piece and hold on to those colors, because look at those tails. I am not going to be able to get, it's very unrealistic for me to think that I'm going to be able to get more of this yarn. I can't send a shout out across the YouTubes for more cotton ripple cake. This is not that. This is a one shot. Every time I make an individual scallop and I cut the yarn, I get a little bit of anxiety. Like, you just cut the cord. Like, you better be sure and check your work before you snip that off. And I did, and these are great. When I worked that before I snipped the yarn, I was just like, la-di-da, look at me. I'm working right along. Hit the brakes. No, we're not working right along. Now I got to rip that out. But I do know that this length is enough to make another scallop. Not right here, but I asked for this. I want this. I really do. I remember when I first got the pattern in the mail and I said, I want this. I want to make this. I want to have this skill in my toolbox. This is going to happen. I need to be patient with myself. When the rest of the world is whirling around during this holiday season and people are honking and people are driving like crazy wild animals out there, I'm going to be up here. I'm going to be up here designing my patchwork crochet cardigan. And the name of this pattern is Captivating Cardigan. Captivating Cardi. Look at my notes. I got notes because this is happening. At my leisure, this is happening. So I'm working on that. I'll show you my progress on this on Fridays. So let's see. We got Wednesdays for crochet kits, Woobling Wednesday. I got Friday to show progress on projects that I've been working throughout the week so that I don't feel like everything's like piling up and I didn't get to show you guys anything. Look, I made another donut. Another donut. Things are just piling up. I found myself sitting and waiting in a waiting room, and there was a Dollar Tree next door. So I ran over to Dollar Tree and I grabbed another little quick donut pattern and I worked it up while I was in the waiting room. And this will go out in the little free library. Little things like that that I've been making, and they're just not sharing them. I want to share them. Something that I really enjoyed sharing on Mondays. So we got Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have crochet magazines of the past tucked into a magazine rack next to the couch where I sit in the living room. And when I find myself in between times, I'll pick up a crochet magazine if I don't have a hook in my hand. And I'll just thumb through and look through little inspirational patterns or read the articles, right? There's amazing tips and tricks and funny little Dear Abby newsletters. I found 3 Christmas ones. We have 4 Mondays. Happy Monday. In December. For the next, not today, but the next 3, let's go back to inspiration on a Monday. Mondays are usually typically notoriously pretty rough. If we could start out with some positive inspiration, maybe these could be little filler projects or become the next long-term project. I did notice that the crochet, decorative crochet, magic crochet, yeah, those are the 2. The ones that have Christmas on them are actually published in October. All 3 of these were put out in October, November, December, so that crocheters of the past could actually get the projects done on time for Christmas. October 1988. October 1997. Oh, 88. So we got decorative crochet and magic crochet from 88. Let the battle begin. So I thought these would be fun to talk about in December. It's adding a tiny little holiday spirit, which I find myself waning in. We'll add those to Monday. Inspirational Monday, Crochet Kit Woobling Wednesday, and Friday, let's talk about what I've been making all week. That'll help keep me moving in a positive direction, right? I I'm finished with the overnight shifts for a little while. I think I have a little bit of a break with those. But, you know, my schedule is crazy, you know. I go where I'm needed, so we'll see if the need arises. But I do like those shifts. 8 to 12 hours of just keeping everything calm and quiet and still while I crochet. Love it. So I got some things. I got it all splayed out around me. I should put them away. Now that I've shown you, I can gift and shift and move stuff around. The update on the Santas versus the Grinches hats. I made 8 to sell, sold 2. And then I made 2 more. I gifted one to my husband, and the other one is waiting to go in the mail. So we're still at 6. I posted it on Facebook for friends and family. That's where the 2 sold to the same person, minimal interest. And then I posted them on Facebook Marketplace. I know, it was such a bold move, but I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Pick up, I'm not delivering it. 3 states away, that's not going to happen. I'm not shipping it. So I said pick up, which probably narrowed down my interested pool of people. And then I also said cash only. It's the holiday season, and I know that there's a lot of negative cash swapping going on. I use Venmo for Hooked on Wishing Crochet. I always have. And it's an ongoing balance and tally of things that I've actually sold. So I didn't want to mess with it. I don't know. There's all those scams where people send you money and then they retract the money after you've already spent the money. I don't know. Let's just do cash, right? Real bills, please. So I had one person with the artificial, you know how like it gives you that little generic, is this item still available? I got one of those and I was like, yeah, item still available for pickup. Cash only. And then I asked which one of the hats were you interested in, because there's a picture of 6 available hats. 2 pictures, the greens, the reds, and then there's X's in the ones that have already been purchased. No reply, so whatever. The next one asked if they could come in the morning, which was the very next morning, at pretty early in the morning, or after work in the evening. And I said either one would be perfectly fine. Pickup only, $40 cash. And that was all left on red. So obviously they didn't want to come in the morning if they didn't even read a reply to them. I know life gets hectic and I love to think the best about people, but when it comes to Facebook Marketplace, the conversation of interaction, of give and take is always lackluster, right? Like, I'm the type of person, tell me what, when, where, why, how. Here's the information. Do with it what you will. Don't waste my time. Like, I guess it didn't really waste my time because I still continued on with my daily routine because I hadn't heard from them, but come on. We're all busy. We're all people. Quality conversation, folks. I don't need to get to know you or anything, but I do need the basics. So I don't know. I don't know if the hats, it makes me feel good to know that I have a backup plan for these hats that will be very well received. If these hats do not sell, I think I said a week after Thanksgiving, so they're still, but then next weekend I'll be out of town. So the following week, they'll all be taken to Kaleidoscope Cancer Support in Byron and donated because I want people to enjoy Santa elf hats before Christmas gets here. I want people to be able to actually wear them and enjoy them, right? So that's the deadline on the hats. Either way, whether I make $1 million and they go out into the world and advertise for me, or I make a million people happy with a million different smiles and send them out into the world for people to be jolly and happy. And I'm sure someone else that sees them wearing it will smile too. So either way, they need to get out of here. They're not making anybody happy by sitting in a bag in my craft corner, right? All right. That's what I got going on. I'm going to go make a hot cup of coffee and do some frogging, right? Take care, friends. I think I'll be sitting in the car a little bit today. I think, yeah, I do have some waiting time in the car today. I think Cardi's going with me. I may attach a little bit more. If I don't attach a little bit more, take care. I'll see you when we're ready to wooble on a Wednesday. Bye, friends.